half-century ago, college students helped lead the charge for desegregation in this country, particularly in schools, and thank heaven they did. They were absolutely right about that. Now, amazingly, colleges are leading a charge to resegregate their student bodies. There are many examples of this, but here's just one. At the University of Maryland, a group called White Awake meets weekly to give students of a certain race a safe space to talk about racial issues, for real. At the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, meanwhile, a program called White Consciousness Conversations is advertised as a way to develop anti-racist practice. What is this? Jason Nichols is a professor of African American Studies at the University of Maryland. He joins us tonight. Jason, thanks a lot for coming on.
Anytime.
So I grew up being taught and believing that the desegregation of schools of the student bodies was one of the crowning achievements of American history. It didn't solve all of our problems, but it was definitely a really important and righteous thing to do, and I still feel that way. How weird is it to watch colleges resegregate and to say that there are programs just for certain races? Like, when did that happen, and why are we for that?
So again, well, this is going to be a historic moment as well, because I'm going to agree with you on one level. I think that these programs for white students are segregation, and they are a big mistake, even if the purpose is to make people more aware. I think it's a bad idea to have these programs. You
just
can't
for
really
white
learn
students or for any?
Well, I would say for white students, and the reason being, first of all, you can't learn about diversity and learn about multiculturalism in an exclusive environment. And I think, again, there's a difference between separation and segregation.
Well, I'm not sure I buy that. I mean, that's kind of an apartheid argument. But
oh, no, it's not an apartheid argument.
You can't learn about diversity if you're walled off from people who are different from you. You're totally right about that. So how, if you're for diversity, why would you segregate any race? Isn't that what we're against? I mean, I still am against it. I'm for integration. I think I'm the last one. But
well, are you really? I'm
arguing for it now. I'm against any of this stuff.
Yeah, no. So I'm in agreement, particularly when we're talking about white students at a predominantly white institution.
But how does it help African American students or Pacific Islanders or any group? How does it help them learn about diversity to be walled off from people who are different?
Well, I think in many cases, students of color are pretty accustomed to diverse environments, and I think there's a difference again between segregation
but that's not true.
And separation.
No, I actually know.
Those are two very different. Power plays a role in that.
I know the numbers on this.
Okay.
And the average American black high school student goes to a school that is less diverse than the average black high school student went to 30 years ago.
Right, but at the University of Maryland,
that's what I'm just saying. A lot of these people are coming from highly non-diverse backgrounds where everybody they know is the same color as them. So how would it help them understand diversity to be placed with people just like them?
Sure. Well, I would tell you, number one, being in at the University of Maryland, if you're a black student, regardless, or a Latino student or an Asian Pacific Islander, and you go to the University of Maryland, you are going to be in environments sometimes where you are the only black or brown or whatever person, so you are not going to need to learn about white people or being around white people. Now, if you are a white student, you may be in an exclusive environment all the time, and you don't need further exclusion from other groups.
So it's okay to segregate except for white kids.
Again, so there's a difference between segregation and separation.
What's the difference?
Again, power plays a role in this.
I don't know what that means. There are a ton of power. I mean, there are a ton of powerless white people in this country. Their life expectancy is declining. They're the only group.
Yeah, well, if you want to talk life expectancy, African American life expectancy is still 5 years behind.
Yeah, it's terrible, and I'm totally against that. I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm just saying, you don't want to generalize about a whole group just because of its skin color, right? That's wrong.
No, absolutely, and that's the purpose. I agree with you that we do need groups that are diverse. We need African Americans, Latinos. We need people to come together. But
the melting pot. I'm for that. I mean, I'm taking the opposition position from Bull Connor. Like, I'm totally opposed to segregation.
I'm glad that you're opposed to Bull Connor.
I am, and the University of Maryland and Harvard, which has a separate graduation ceremony for black kids, Bull Connor would approve of that. He would strongly approve of that.
So those separate graduation ceremonies, they don't require that.
Oh, they're cool. Oh, I get it.
No, I didn't say that.
We're going to have to continue this conversation.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Professor Nichols, great to see you.